My husband left me for another woman. He took my own family to their wedding abroad. He texted me, "Don't be home when we get back. Once it's old, it's dead to me." They all returned and saw what I had done. Their smiles vanished. They looked at the empty land and asked each other one terrified question. I just watched from my car and smiled. "Don't be home when we get back. Once it's old, it's dead to me." That's what my husband texted me from Croatia. From his wedding to another woman. With my entire family standing behind them in the photo, champagne glasses raised. Stared at that message for exactly 3 seconds. Then I looked up at the construction crew across the street, watching them demolish an old building floor by floor. Controlled demolition, they called it, and I knew exactly what I needed to do. They wanted me gone, fine. But I'd make sure there was nothing left for them to come back to. The photo was still on my screen. I zoomed in, studying every detail like I was examining architectural blueprints. Samuel stood in the center wearing a tuxedo I'd never seen before. Expensive, perfectly tailored, the kind of suit that costs $3,000 minimum. Next to him was Clara Ashford, 28 years old. Blonde, hair and soft waves, white dress that probably came from some boutique in Boston that I'd walked past 100 times but never entered because I was too busy working. But it wasn't Samuel or Clara that made my hands tighten. Around the phone, it was everyone standing behind them. My mother, Patricia, wore lavender, her favorite color, the same shade she'd worn to my wedding 12 years ago. She was beaming at the camera, champagne glass raised high, looking happier than I'd seen her look in years. Next to her stood my father, Robert. He looked uncomfortable. Sure, but he was there, present, participating, not protesting, not refusing, just standing there like this was normal family behavior. My sister June held a bouquet, an actual bouquet, like she was part of the wedding party, like she hadn't spent the last year telling me I needed to be more supportive of Samuel's career, more understanding when he worked late, more flexible when he canceled our plans. And Marcus, my baby brother, the one I put through college when my parents couldn't afford it. The one I helped with rent for 6 months when he lost his job. The one who called me his hero at his graduation. He was grinning in that photo, chilly grinning like attending my husband's wedding to another woman was just another fun family vacation. I sat there in my car outside the Meridian Tower construction site, phone in my lap, trying to process what I was seeing, trying to make it make sense, but it didn't make sense. None of it made sense. Across the street, the demolition crew was working on a 1960s office building that had been condemned 6 months ago. I'd watched them start the tear down 3 days earlier. They weren't using explosives. This was surgical, controlled. They removed windows first, then interior walls, then support beams. Floor by floor, section by section. The building was coming down in a carefully orchestrated collapse. The foreman stood near the perimeter fence, holding a tablet, monitoring every strike of the excavator. Nothing was random. Nothing was emotional. It was pure calculated precision. That's when the clarity hit me. The absolute. I opened my phone's photo gallery and started scrolling backwards. 12 years of marriage in digital form. Our wedding day. Samuel looking at his phone during the reception. Our 5th anniversary trip to Maine. Him disappearing for hours claiming he needed to take work calls. Last Christmas when he insisted we spend it apart because he needed space to think. Every vacation where he was physically present but mentally elsewhere. Every dinner where he checked his messages under the table. Every late night at the office that I'd believed without question. I'd been building our future while he'd been building an exit strategy. Samuel Vaugh, my husband of 12 years, regional sales manager for a tech company. That's what he told people. That's what I told people. But regional sales apparently involved a lot of hotel rooms and very few actual sales reports. I'd never questioned it because I was too busy running my architecture firm, too busy designing buildings and managing clients and working 80-hour weeks to notice that my husband was designing a completely different life. Clara Ashford worked in his office, marketing coordinator. I'd met her once at a company holiday party 2 years ago. She'd seemed nice, quiet, forgettable. Remembered thinking she looked young, too young to be taken seriously in a professional environment. Now I understood she wasn't hired for her marketing skills. We never had children. Samuel always said the timing wasn't right. We should wait until the business was more stable, until we had more money, saved, until we traveled more, until I'd believed him because I wanted to believe him, as I thought we were partners building toward the same future. But he wasn't waiting for the right time with me. He was waiting for her. My phone buzzed again. A notification from Instagram. Samuel had posted the photo publicly. The caption read, "Starting our forever in paradise, surrounded by the people who matter most." The people who matter most wasn't in that photo. I wasn't in Croatia. I wasn't anywhere in his new life. I was home in Boston, sitting in my car outside a construction site, reviewing blueprints for the Meridian Tower, the biggest commercial project of my career, the project that would define my firm's reputation, the project I'd been pouring myself into for 9 months, while my husband planned his wedding to someone else. The demolition crew across the street brought down another section of the building. The excavator's arms swung precisely, connecting with a load-bearing wall. The structure groaned, buckled, collapsed inward exactly as planned. I watched the dust rise and settle. Then I opened my text messages and typed, "Enjoy Croatia. I'll make sure everything's handled." Samuel would read that and think I was being supportive, understanding the way I'd always been, the way he trained me to be, over 12 years of marriage. But I wasn't being supportive. I was being strategic. I scrolled through my contacts and found Nicole Ferrara, my attorney, the woman who'd helped me structure my LLC when I started my firm, the woman who'd insisted 5 years ago that Samuel sign a postnuptial agreement when I expanded the business, the woman I'd kept on retainer even though Samuel thought it was paranoid. She answered on the second ring. "Hazel, what's wrong?" I didn't waste time with explanations. "How fast? Can we move?" There was a pause. Nicole was sharp. She didn't need details to understand tone. "How fast do you need?" I looked at the photo again, calculated the timeline. They land in 9 days. Nicole's laugh was low and predatory, the sound of someone who'd built a career destroying unfaithful spouses in court. "Then let's build you a beautiful new life in 8. I hung up and sat there for another moment, watching the demolition crew pack up their equipment for the day. The building that had stood for 60 years was now just rubble and rebar. By tomorrow, it would be hauled away. By next week, the lot would be cleared and ready for something new. Controlled demolition. That's what they called it. And that's exactly what I was about to do. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I sat at my kitchen table with a legal pad and started writing lists, timelines, asset inventories, everything. We owned everything I owned.